Okay, moving to the slide span of control. So span of control is referring to how many employees need to report to a supervisor. So narrow span of control indicates that there are few employees that need to report to a manager. So this could result in tall organizations. So tall organizations normally referring to mechanistic style of organizations. So tall organization is typically, or span of control is typically bureaucratic organizations, which result in over involvement of the supervisor in job activities of the employees, and this could hinder individual creativity and cause employee frustrations. So span of control consists of narrow and also narrow span of control and also wide span of control. And this wide span of control, there are many employees to report to a manager. So for the narrow span of control, there are few employees to report to a manager. So this indicate that there are many managers in the organizations, and under each manager there are few employees. So because there are many managers and then under each managers there are few employees, so the organization become taller. So a wide span of control, there are many employees have to report to a manager. So this will result in the flatter types of organizations. So it is also incorporated theme as a building blocks of the organization. So I show you the shapes of the organization. The span of a control, this is the wide span of control, this is the narrow span of control. So wide span of control consists of a few managers. Under each managers there are many employees, so they may have many teams also. But under narrow span of control, there are many managers, and under each manager there are few or several employees. So that's why it indicates a taller type of organization, because under each managers there are few employees compared to this. So another slide, I will show these slides to indicate that so for example, in the organization there are the same numbers of them employees, but because they have many managers and each managers have few employees, so it's showing that they are moving towards taller organizations. But if there are few managers, but there are many employees under each managers, so the organization become flatter types of organizations. They also don't have to pay much salaries to the managers, because they have only few managers. They can pay higher salary to the managers. Here, because they have more managers, so they have to use many of their budget to pay many higher salary to the managers. So we move to the centralization and decentralization. Normally, when we talk about centralization, we talk about decision making, whether it is at the HQ or centralized, or whether can be done also at the branch or at any level of the organizations, decentralized. So centralization versus decentralization is referring to where in the organization's hierarchy decisions are made. So if we talk about centralizations, that means decisions are made high up in the organizational level, normally by top managements, by the HQ. This sometimes to ensure standardized procedure and conformity of the procedure. That's why the organizations make decisions at the higher level. Decentralizations is where the decisions are made in the lower level. Normally, they give empowerments. Employees are given empowerments through trainings, information sharings. So employees at the lower level or at the branch levels could make decisions. So this called decentralizations of decision making. This actually could increase participations and involvement of the employees, because if they are empowered to also give to involve in the decision making, they indirectly will increase their participation and involvement with the organization. This also, decentralization can enhance creativity and flexibility of the organizations. So different organization design, we have in the textbook it mentions there are different type of design: simple organizational design, bureaucracy, matrix structure, visual organizations, and team-based organizations, also called self-direct or self-managed, and also cross-functional teams. So simple organizations normally when there are some people decide to form a to maybe start a business. They may have they start with a simple style or simple type of organizations. Normally they have a small or informal style of organizations. They do not have, or maybe just have, little departmentalizations. They have wide span of control where one manager or maybe the owner, the founder of the business is the manager, or if the highest authority, and they have many several employees which are responsible directly to the founder. Decision making, normally simple organizations, because they do not have many branches, they do not have many employees, so centralized decision making are more centralized. And also because they are new, they are not really standardized. They just have little formalizations in terms of rules and procedure. The advantage of simple organizations, simple structure of organizations, in terms of flexibility, because because they are small, they employees are not many, so in terms of rules and procedure, they are more flexible and inexpensive. The accountability is clear because employees are not so many, and they also directly responsible to the founder or to the managers, so their accountability is quite clear. Bureaucracy types of organizations. The main characteristics of bureaucracy is the main characteristics is standardization in terms of rule and procedure. They are more standardized. Uniform procedure also standardized. They also adopt highly systematic and routine work procedure, because normally bureaucracy design of the organizations occur because they have many employees, so they have to have many procedure, or they have standardized procedure so that the organization can be run in smoothly, follow certain order. So it's actually for the smooth operation of the business or of the organization. The advantages of this bureaucracy design style of organizations: efficient executions of the standardized activity. They also can take advantage of the economy of scales in terms of buying products, or in terms of operation and so on. Their process also consists of minimum duplications, because their personnel concentrates or focusing on their own tasks, so they are the minimum duplications, so they are more efficient in doing their works. So this is how to show to you the simple style of the organization, simple structure of the organization. So they are simple one. They don't have many. They don't have many employees. The managers is actually the founder. So they have wide span of control. The flexible in terms of rules. In contrast, bureaucracy have many departmentalization. They have high in specializations. The decision making are also centralized. They are also high in formalizations. That means following rules and regulations. So the disadvantage of bureaucracy in terms of red tape, that means they follow rigidly the regulations. So this can be problems because simple thing, if I have to follow the regulations, it can take time. Also slow the decision making, because decision making need to follow the order of the authority. They're also inflexible, are not really flexible, because they have too many formal departmentalizations to go through, so they are not flexible and lacks of innovations as compared to the simple structure of organizations. Matrix structure involve combinations of functional and products or project departmentalization. Basically, matrix structure consists of two departments. The employees who belong to the matrix structure, they also belong to the functional departments and also belongs to the project departments. So functional departments of this employee responsible for the salary, responsible for the authority in terms of the personnel and so on. So project departmentalization responsible for the performance of the projects. This project may change after this project finish. The employees may move to another project, but their functional department stay the same. It's only their projects change. So typically, mostly commonly found in construction companies, or also in the advertising agency, hospital, and so on. So employees who belong to these matrix structures normally have dual line of authority, especially to the vertical structure. That's mean to the functional structure. Normally they belong to the traditional line, such as who responsible for their salaries and so on, is based on the functional. Horizontal based on the project. If the project finish, they can move to the others. So they basically fixed based on the function, but this one is flexible. They disband when the project finish. So this actually the pictures of matrix structure. They're responsible for the two layer of authority. So for the projects manager and also for these managers, they originally come from. So that's why it said matrix, because they have dual level lines of authority. Virtual organizations where members do not have the physical office. They consist of the small groups, core groups, or organizations that outsource. So they basically have small numbers of employees. They only have employees that doing the core activities, and the rest they outsource to the other company. So members may come from different locations. They connect through electronics, through computer software or devices that have internet connections. So that's easy for them to interact or to communicate with each other, but they are physically dispersed at different locations. They are not come face to face. That's why it says virtual organizations. Team-based organization is an organization based on the teamwork. Many organizations are have resigned into team structure, because team structure is more effective compared to just general organization. So employees in this team structure, employees are grouped into self-directed teams. Maybe they don't have the managers. They have maybe the managers importance of managers is reduced. They given more empowerment to the team members to take responsibility to complete the task. So team basically made up of the team members basically consists of members come from diverse skill relevant to the projects. So team are more responsible or accountable for the outputs, and they receive minimum supervision. So basically team based rely on each other members. Their supervisor just play very minimum control or supervisions. There are nowadays many organizations resort to team-based organizations.